Go for a long trip on Tuesday night and we're straight back into another long trip on Saturday. I mean, first off, just how difficult is that, racking up all those miles in such a short space of time?
Difficult for the players. The chairman's helped us in the last few weeks because getting a train makes a massive difference. It's make sure that from Euston or from Paddington, wherever we go from, I think from Wrexham to Chester, we was there within 2 hours, which helps a lot. The difference, you can get up, you can walk about. By the time we get from Leighton to Euston, you're walking around, so you don't get that 5 or 6. I think it's 5.5 hours coming back or something. You sat in the same position, you can't really move anywhere. So it makes a big difference. So we're trying to do everything for the players possible to keep them as fresh as possible. And at the moment, it's working all right. But it is difficult. It's difficult when you have one. When you have 2 or 3 on a row, it can be really, really difficult. But we've got to get through it. It's the way that the fixtures have landed. And I think after the next couple of weeks, and it's quite settled, the schedule, and can work in our advantage.
I mean, it was a long old way on Tuesday, wasn't it? But also a really difficult test against a team that's right up there. How pleased were you with how the team performed?
Yeah, the test is loads of different factors. The fact that they don't get beat very often in any game, the fact that they don't get beat at home even more so. They're used to winning. Even if you go in front against them, they're used to coming behind and scoring late goals a lot. The physicality, the experience that they have in the team. And obviously to go 1-0 down, and it was important that we showed a test of character, which I've no doubt this group of players have got. But then to relax and play our football and create the chances that we did, and obviously have the issue of Pratsy getting sent off. And so at the last 10 minutes, it was we can't cover the spaces anymore. We can't get to the ball. So balls are coming in our box. But then Keeley, when he was called upon with a deflected effort off Dan Happ, Sween's been in the right position. Don Ball's header to a man, every single one of them was unbelievable.
We've spoken a little bit recently about different tests of character, whether that be coming off the high of the Man City game, whether that be losing a lead against Lincoln or going behind against Wrexham. It feels like we're passing all the tests that have been thrown at us so far. How pleasing is that for you as a manager?
It's pleasing, but I think it's set through the club. We've had a lot of success in the last 2-3 years here, and we don't get too high. I've always said it, we don't get too high. So when I think I've fist pumped once in the last 3 years, once, and that's when you win something. So I see a lot of some teams come here and won at the start of the season, and it's like the fist pumping, they're having pictures taken with the fans, and I'm like, all right, we'll see when that turns round. And it turns round, believe me, it turns round. But we're quite level, and when we had a tough start, there's no rumours about my job. There's no rumours about the players. It's really, really stable football club. And I think when you get that level of consistency, whether it be good or bad, I think over long term holds you in a good place. So I listen. Did he put the music on after the games? Absolutely, they do. We did enjoy it, but we're not extreme. We're not banging the opposition's door down like we've had at some places and things like that. So I've been in football a long, long time, and if you start getting too ahead of yourself, it definitely comes back to bite you twice as hard. So I think we've got a level-headed group led by some experienced players who have really stepped up to the plate. Obviously, Prats has been out in the last few weeks, in and out. Sorry, Beckles is injured. People like Don Ball, Jack Simpson, Dan Happ have stepped up, and I think it's important. They're just a magnificent group to work with.
We lost Jack to what looked like an injury on Tuesday. How's he, and how's the rest of the squad looking? Yeah,
Jack will be probably 50-50. Prats is obviously suspended now, and all the other injured lads. Sean Clare's getting closer, won't be too far away. Same with Ollie O'Neill. But apart from that, no one fresh will be coming in. But the squad's good. You only have to look at likes of Dylan Markande's been unbelievable since he's come in, and it's been difficult to get him on the last couple of games because of the physicality of the opposition, the way the game is going. You look at Lincoln, you look at Wrexham. Every time the ball goes out of play, it's in your box. Every time it's a long throw, a corner, you need to match them up size-wise. So it's been difficult for Dylan, but his time will come. DJ was unbelievable against Man City, and he's not had too many opportunities. We needed to rest Jack Coe, and Sween has stepped up. So it's important again that they respect my decision when I'm trying to pick a team, because I'm only trying to pick it for the best of the club and the best of the team to get a result. But they're all involved, they're all working hard in training, and when they get their when they get the opportunity to play and they take it, like Sweens on Tuesday. I'm absolutely delighted for him.
Bolton change manager recently, Stephen Schumacher in charge there now. What can we expect from them?
Yeah, maybe a slight change in system, a slight change in probably different tactically, but probably a bit more aggressive. But I think time not had too many games. The games that they've had, they score goals, but they concede goals. So I don't think we've seen a true influence yet. I watched the game at Huddersfield and I thought he was different to what they have been the last few years. I thought he was dogged, determined, very good out of possession. So I don't think that Ian Evatt was there a long time. He had a distinctive style which was successful, and he won more games than he lost. But I don't think Shuey's had enough time yet to really stamp his, and especially with the schedule. The schedule's so bad for everybody that I think it's really difficult to get on a training ground and really stamp your authority yet. One thing they have got is they've got good players, good squad, big squad. So he's got a lot of options.
And lastly, and as always, message on the fans, Dave. Those who were there Tuesday and will be there Saturday will have racked up a lot of miles, a lot of expense. Just a message for those guys who are...
Yeah, the expense and the time is worth it at the moment because they're enjoying themselves, having a great time. They have a set of players that they can connect with and recognise when they're giving their all for the club, not just in terms of attitude and mentality, but also the quality that we're showing. Some of the goals we're scoring is really, really good. So keep it going. It was really difficult the other night because I think it was a week before. It's difficult for us. We don't realise that we've got Wrexham in that part of the schedule, and then all of a sudden we have to adapt to get to rest players before, after, and try and fit that Wrexham game into the schedule. So for the supporters at late notice, obviously the club are great putting on travel, but to have a day off work or whatever it may be and get up there to support us was a magnificent effort. That was on a Tuesday night. I hope they can do it again. And like I always say, if they put the effort in, we'll do our very best to give them a good result, a good travel up and back, and then a good weekend following.